Hey guys, this is Janine with Cook, Pray, Slay, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making the best ever French bread pizza, and I'm so excited to show this recipe to you guys. And the timing is perfect with the Super Bowl coming up. This is the perfect snack or dinner idea that you could just whip up within 30 minutes and you're done. So it's super easy. It's everyday ingredients that you probably most likely already have in the refrigerator and your pantry. And I will show you in a second how to make it. So before we jump into the recipe, if you haven't had a chance yet, definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so you can receive all of my future recipes and videos. So you want to make sure to look down below in the description. I will make sure to include a link going to the full recipe for those of you who would like to make this at home. All right guys, so before I show you the ingredients, just want you to know I am making two different types of French bread pizzas. The first one, I'll be doing a white, like a chicken Alfredo based one. And then I'll also do more of like a traditional tomato based red sauce flavor as well. So I'll show you what that looks like. My sauces are store-bought, guys, because I'm a busy mom and I don't have time to make the marinara sauce from scratch, as most of you that follow my blog and know me from social media, you guys know, like, I don't have time for that. But you are more than welcome to do that. If you want to make your own marinara sauce or your own Alfredo sauce, you can absolutely do that with this recipe as well. So let's jump into the ingredients. Okay, so here we have a loaf of fresh French bread that I picked up at my local grocery store. And one loaf is definitely enough. This will be plenty for my family to munch on. If you have a large crowd, you definitely want to make sure that you are doubling up on your ingredients and you can purchase more loaves of French bread. Here I have some spinach, and these are just some of our favorite toppings. You can definitely use whatever toppings you like. You don't have to use what I'm including in my recipes. We love spinach, so, and any opportunity I can get for my kids to eat veggies, I take it. So spinach, we'll be using that today. I have some shredded cheese. This is actually shredded mild cheddar cheese. Mozzarella cheese is really good for these two, but just a fun little fact here. My daughter has a sensitivity to lactose, so cheddar cheese actually has less moisture in it, and so it's a little bit more friendly to those who have lactose sensitivities and lactose intolerance. So I'll be using shredded cheddar cheese today. For my chicken pizza, I just grilled a piece of chicken breast and I shredded it up. You can cube it. You can use whatever meats you want. So this is that. I just honestly just grilled it in my George Foreman grill for about 10 minutes and it was good to go. So we'll use that. I have some red onion, some bell peppers here that I'll slice up. And I have some pepperoni. And so here are two different sauces that I will use to put on the bread when I put it in the oven. So this is melted butter. This is actually melted butter and garlic. And then I also have a healthier version, and this is olive oil with garlic. So I've got an olive oil garlic based sauce and the garlic butter sauce as well. So I'll be using both of those. One for, you know, like I'll just do one with the butter, the garlic butter, and then I'll do the other pizza with the olive oil and garlic mix. As far as the sauces, I actually really like this brand, Newman's Own. I like it because no sugar added. So I really pay attention to that when I purchase pre-made sauces in the grocery store, because a lot of them do have lots of sugars and a lot of ingredients that aren't necessarily good for you. But this is a really great brand, And typically I get the same brand for the Alfredo sauce, but unfortunately they were out. So I just bought the next, another brand that, that I'm comfortable with. This is the Classico. You can get whatever Alfredo sauce you like. So, all right guys, so we are ready to jump into the recipe. I told you all, like, those are really simple ingredients, right? So this recipe is just so simple and easy, and I absolutely love it, and I know you guys are gonna love it as well. I can guarantee you guys, after you taste this, you are never gonna wanna like order in pizza again. It's that good, okay? So let's jump into the recipe and get started. All right guys, so you always want to make sure you start off with a baking sheet or a baking pan that is large enough to fit your French bread pizza. Today I have an aluminum pan here that I'll use, and typically what I like to do is grab a piece of foil and line it, because this really helps with the cleanup, right? So when your French bread is done, it's just a matter of taking the foil off, wiping it down. Quick and simple, no headache, right? So you definitely want to make sure you start off with that. I will actually include a link down below for a link that actually goes directly to this type of baking sheet. I love it. This is a Nordic Ware, and these are great. So I will go ahead and do that. So my sheet is already lined, and I have my oven preheating right now at 425 degrees. All right, so I'm going to start by cutting my French bread. And I know, guys, this is a big old knife. All right, so see there. And I'm actually going to slightly scoop out some of the bread because I want my toppings to sit nice and comfortably, and I kind of want the edge of the French bread to hug it slightly. So you don't have to do this step, but I always just like to have just a little bit of room in there, just so that I can load all of the toppings, because we do use quite a bit of toppings. So we'll go ahead and do that. I will take a spoon or something to scrape it with. Okay guys, so as you can see, I kind of dug some of the bread here. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to completely skin the bread, okay? But just enough to where your toppings can nicely sit within there, kind of like a little boat. So yeah, I've got a whole bowl of bread over here, guys, that I'm munching on. Sorry. I love bread. Okay, so these are all done, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick them on my baking sheet. All right guys, so now that my bread is all cut up, I'm gonna go ahead and put a coat of the melted butter and garlic sauce on one, and then I'll use the olive oil on the other. And basically what we'll do is we'll coat it nicely, stick it in the oven for 5 minutes, and take it out, and we'll put all of the rest of the toppings on. The reason why I do this is because I love the inside of the bread to have a crisp bite to it. So when I bite into my pizza, I like that crispiness, and I don't like a soggy pizza. So that's why I typically do that. If you wanted to skip this step, you can certainly do that, but then it won't be the very best French bread pizza ever, and it won't be my recipe. So, all right, let's go ahead and we're gonna coat one of them. Remember, so it doesn't matter which one. I'm gonna use the olive oil and garlic mix. I'll do that on the white pizza one. And again, this is probably more of a healthier option. then the melted butter, so you can, most definitely use whichever option works for you. I like both, so I'm just gonna do one for each, just to show you guys that you can do whatever you like. So it's all about you, right? So this side is nicely coated. And now I'm gonna do the butter and garlic mixture. So this garlic and butter mixture will be the more traditional tomato-based red sauce French bread pizza that I'll do. All right guys, so they're all ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna stick these in for 5 minutes. All right, so while the bread is in the oven for 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and start slicing up my toppings. All right guys, so here's the fun part. This is the part everybody loves to do. So we're gonna go ahead and put all of our toppings and the sauce, of course, on the bread. The bread is nicely done. Let me see if I can put it up closer to the camera. It's pretty hot, so trying to be careful here not to touch it. But if you guys can see that, the bread is nice and crispy on the edges. The butter sauce and the olive oil sauce with garlic is nice and melted in there, and it is ready to get the toppings on. So because the bread is nice and crispy already, it won't have to stay in the oven for very long. We just want to make sure that the cheese gets nice and melted and bubbly. So it'll be ready in just a matter of minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. I will show you how I top the French bread. All right guys, so we'll go ahead and get started on the Alfredo base, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spoon it directly out of the jar. And see, I'm just gonna spoon it into the bread. And see, this is why I like scooping out some of the bread, because as you can see, it sits nicely inside of the bread and it's not spilling off to the sides. So yeah. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add my chicken. So guys, if you are in a pinch for time and you don't have time to prepare the chicken, something that I like to do to cheat, it's not really cheating, but you gotta work smart. I will sometimes pick up a rotisserie chicken from my local grocery store, and I will shred it up and use that. So there's another quick and simple tip for those of us always in a pinch for time. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some cheese to that. We like a lot of cheese in this house, so. And I'm gonna put a little bit of the baby spinach in here, not too much. Load it like that. Should have probably taken the stems off, but that's okay. And maybe I'll put a few of the red onion here, just a little bit, not much. My kids aren't too big on the red onion, so. And if you're not an onion person, you can leave them out altogether. And I'm going to top it with a little bit more cheese. So let me turn this, and we'll do our red sauce marinara pizza here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I did for that. I'm gonna go ahead and spoon the marinara sauce into the French bread. So this one is a little deeper. I kind of cut it unevenly, but that's okay. I'm not gonna put too much sauce, but you can add however much sauce you like. If you are really into the sauce and you like it more saucy, you can add more, you can add less. I'm typically more on the lighter side, so I don't add too much sauce, okay? So this is good. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put just a light layer of cheese. And then of course I'll add another layer of cheese. Alright guys, so our pizzas are ready to go in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on for about 8 minutes or so. The recipe says 10 minutes, but my oven gets really super hot. So I'm just gonna keep a close eye on it, and at the 8-minute mark, I'm gonna go ahead and start checking on it. Alright, I will show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, so our French bread pizza is done, and oh my god, it smells so good. Doesn't it look so good? My family is just chomping at the bit. They are ready to bite into these. But I'll go ahead and give you guys a close-up look. I can't stop eating it. My kids are gonna devour this. But anyways, I'm eating on camera. But definitely give this recipe a try. I hope you guys love it. Again, the full recipe is down below in the description. I'll include a link to my blog, and it's got the full recipe on there for you guys. So let me know how you love it. I hope you guys make it. If you do, definitely drop me a comment down below, or let's connect on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Look up Cook, Pray, Slay. I'm on those platforms, and I would love to connect with you in that way as well. So once again, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and definitely, you know what's next, right? I'm going to ask you guys, if you haven't yet, definitely subscribe to this channel and make sure you're hitting that notification bell down below so you get all of my future recipes and videos. Thanks again for watching, and take care, guys.